Every night, someone hears a whisper they can't explain. Every home hides a secret no one dares to uncover. And every person has felt it, that chilling sense of being watched. At Mr.Wannos, we don't search for comfort. We search for the truth that terrifies. Do you dare to listen until the end?
I never thought a single moment of mockery would turn my life into an endless nightmare. It all started on a day that seemed perfectly ordinary. I was out in the city with a group of friends. Laughs, jokes, the usual boredom of a dull autumn afternoon. We were waiting at the curb to cross a side street, not too crowded, but cars kept coming. And then, just as we stood there, a man passed by me. A strange man. His clothes were torn and filthy, like they hadn't been washed in months. His body was disturbingly thin. And his face. I don't even know how to describe it, but something about it made my skin crawl. His eyes were pale, lifeless, staring at the ground. His mouth hung open slightly as he breathed slowly, like his body could barely carry his soul. I couldn't help myself. I mocked him. I whispered with a smirk. Wonder what grave he crawled out of. And I laughed. My friends laughed too. Then, he stopped. And slowly, he looked up at me. That look, it wasn't just anger. There was something dark in it. Heavy. Like I had awakened something I never should have disturbed. Then he stepped off the curb to cross the street. Slow, shaky steps. His hand trembled slightly. And suddenly, screeching brakes. A scream. Then the sound of flesh slamming against metal. A car hit him. I saw his body fly through the air and slam against the pavement. His head cracked against the concrete edge of the sidewalk, and blood exploded from his skull like a fountain. People started screaming. Traffic stopped. Everything froze. Except me. I ran. I ran, trembling, breathless, as far from that street as I could. I didn't even know what I was running from, the scene. Or myself. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face. That final look he gave me. It haunted the darkness of my room, hiding in the corners, behind the curtains. My friends. They didn't help much. They blamed me. If you hadn't said anything, he wouldn't have stopped. It's your fault, man. You distracted him. He looked straight at you. He heard you. That's why he got hit. Guilt started eating me alive. Sleepless nights. Anxiety. Panic attacks. Shame. And then, he started showing up in my dreams. At first, he just stood there. Same clothes. Same empty stare. He'd appear in the corner of my dream, silent. Motionless. Just watching. But that look pierced through my bones. The dreams repeated. Every night. And each time, he was closer. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. In one dream, I screamed at him, begged him to leave, to forgive me, to just go. But he stayed silent, staring. Then I woke up to the sound of a muffled laugh behind me. I turned around, horrified. No one was there. But I swear, I felt someone's breath on my neck. That's when things began spiraling. I lost control of my life. Anxiety clung to every moment. I stopped going out. I stopped smiling. Even my family noticed something was very, very wrong. I saw a psychiatrist. Told him everything, the accident, the dreams, the guilt, the voices, the shadows. We started therapy. He gave me medication, sleeping pills, anxiety meds. But nothing worked. If anything, things got worse. I started feeling his presence even while awake. At first, it was just shadows. A blur in the corner of my vision. Then came the sounds. Footsteps down the hallway at night, faint tapping on the walls. And worse. The smell. That same awful smell from the accident. Blood, urine, burnt plastic. One night, I was alone in the living room when I heard something moving in the basement. Slow, dragging steps. Then the basement door creaked open. I couldn't move. I sat there frozen for hours, silent, breathless. The next morning, I decided to do something I never considered before. I needed to find him. I needed to know his name. To find his grave, and apologize. I started digging. Old news reports. Police files. Accident records. Eventually, I found a short article about the incident. Unidentified man struck and killed by car on a quiet side street. But that wasn't enough. I contacted a volunteer group that helped track down identities of unclaimed victims. After months of waiting, they finally gave me a name, and the location of his grave. I went. The cemetery was quiet. His grave was simple. No flowers. No visitors. Just a faded name on a cracked stone. I sat in front of it and broke down. I apologized. I begged for forgiveness. I told him everything, the guilt, the nightmares, the fear. I told him I hadn't slept for months. That I was sorry. I went home, hoping it would end. But that night, I couldn't sleep again. I felt like I wasn't alone in my room anymore. He was there. The air turned cold. The tapping returned. Footsteps, again. And then, the sound of the basement door creaking open. I spent the next few days without sleep. Just sitting. Watching the corners. Listening. Waiting. He never left. And now, after all this time, I finally understand. He doesn't want forgiveness. He doesn't want peace. He wants me to suffer what he suffered. To become like him, forgotten, cursed, dead. But still here.
If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe for more tales no one dares to tell. And if you have a scary experience of your own, drop it in the comments. Your story might be next.